As we attempt to navigate the chaos of modern life, it is important for us to look after ourselves, not just physically, but energetically too. It is important for us to take the time within our busy lives to make room for peace. Archangel Gabriel recognizes this need and has shared with me an offer of assistance through the power of 0-point energy. In this video, we will discuss the importance of energetic cleansing, the true meaning of 0-point, how with Archangel Gabriel's assistance we can receive a deep cleansing of our energetic systems, how this can assist us with manifestation, and lastly, I wanted to extend to you his beautiful offer to fill us with peace, love, balance, and harmony, so that we can take a much deserved opportunity for some relaxation. Let's dive straight in, shall we? Now, Gabriel's initial offer came to me in a recent message that I channeled for him. You can read the full message up here. But some of the things he touched on there in that is that really we think of ourselves as a physical being. But technically that's not really true. Because human beings, right, we're like an iceberg. This physical thing that you see right here, this is the 10% of the iceberg that sticks up above the water. 90% of us is not even perceivable by human eyes. Our energetic systems are so vast and so complex. I honestly don't believe there's a single person on the planet that could fully understand how vast we are. That is the nature of our being. Essentially, we are a hybrid. And this means that most of our state is purely energetic, not physical. But then really, our physicality is still energy because we're still vibrating atoms. But that's aside. And our energetic state, it spreads out far beyond the physical. Our spiritual field reaches up to 20 miles or 32 kilometers all around us. Just think about that for a moment. Think about where you live or where you are right now. Think about how far 32 kilometers or how far 20 miles would reach. You can go an awful long way, absolutely vast. And you think about everything that exists within that. How many people are currently within 20 miles of you? A lot. And if you think that, yes, you're like this, but your neighbors are like this, and the person down the street is like this, and everybody else is like this, and we all have these fields that are essentially like crashing into each other, right? We've all got our own vibrations, all got our own states, and they're constantly in flux because we are like sponges. We absorb energy from other places. We absorb energies from other people, from situations, from what's going on in the world. We soak this stuff up. This is the power, of course, of spiritual protection to help us do these things. But with the best will in the world, with the most dedicated practices, we still absorb stuff. It's just the nature of who we are. At least until we get to the point where we become an absolute master of our reality, where we are creating the world around us at an incredibly high frequency. That's the answer, really. And that's the road that we're on. But it's going to take a little while to get there. So how do we deal with this, really? We have to accept the fact that it is what it is and that we are going to be taking on energies from stuff around us. But we can help mitigate this by being vigilant with our own energetic practices, by using powerful tools like the violet flame to cleanse and purify our energies on a regular basis. And even just doing this on our 4-body system, our physical, mental, emotional, and that spiritual field that expands out that incredible distance, as well as our chakra system, can have a profound effect on shifting our energy. But really, there is kind of an extent to how well that we can do this personally, again, right now. And this brings me to the first part of Archangel Gabriel's very generous offer, where he is essentially offered to cleanse and purify our energetic systems to a state of 0 point. Now, what is 0 point, you may ask? It's actually a term I've heard coming up in conversation a few times within the spiritual field recently, but it's not something I'd really dug into a great deal myself. So when Gabriel mentioned this in a message, I thought, okay, let's talk to him a little bit further. Let's find out what his definition for 0 point would be. And I wanted to share that with you now. So the following is a channeled message directly from Archangel Gabriel. This is what he had to say. Greetings, dear one. I would be overjoyed to join you today to speak further to the subject of 0 point energy. First of all, I ask that you disconnect this subject from the human terminology, for they are not the same. 0 point energy is pure creation. It is the absence of anything but the possibility of everything. Think of it like a blank canvas, but one made of the purest light. From this place, all things are possible. It is a reflection of that perfect God state, where inspiration is born and all things manifest. Let me explain. If you wish to manifest anything into your life, you begin from a place of burden. You are pre-programmed with ancestral, karmic, mental and emotional debris which oppose your desired outcome. And so the first step in the journey is to break down these patterns so you may bring yourself into alignment with your desire. This, depending on the barriers, can be a lengthy process. From a place of 0 point, there are no opposing forces. It is simply a matter of switching your vibration to match your desire. This is how we angels are able to manifest all things instantly, for we carry no disharmony. To achieve true 0 point is sadly out of reach of those who have stepped upon the wheel of reincarnation. The ascended masters have come close, but will always carry some aspect of the ego. However, with my assistance, it is possible to reset your energetic systems, at least temporarily, opening up your manifestation and offering reprise from the energetic debris you usually have to carry. This alone can be a freeing and beautiful experience. Yours in loving purity, Archangel Gabriel. Thank you, Gabriel, for that message. There is an awful lot of wisdom in his words there, so let's just break that down quickly. First of all, he said disconnect this subject from your human terminology, for they are not the same. In the world of physics, 0 point is a thing, but this is what he's referring to here. He's just saying that it's a different thing, both got the same name, not related. Don't worry about it. We're talking about energetic, spiritual, shall we say, 0 point energy here. And this, I absolutely love this. He says, 0 point energy is pure creation. It is the absence of anything but the possibility of everything. I love this. I think in my mind, when he says this, I think of the film The Matrix, when they go into the white room and it's just completely void, but yet they can just create absolutely anything from that space. That's instantly where my mind went to with it. It's just this idea of, well, a blank canvas, which is of course what he said next. He said, think of it like a blank canvas, but one made of the purest light. So it's like you could use this to construct stuff, this light. It's like a completely blank sheet. And he says that from this place, all things are possible. It is a reflection of that perfect God state, where inspiration is born and all things manifest. You know, a big part of that God energy is the energy of creation. I genuinely believe, you know, when it says in the Bible that we were all made in God's image, he wasn't referring to us as, or at least referring to God as a bloke with a big beard and long white hair that looked like a man. I don't believe that at all. I personally believe that we were created as creators in his image in its image. it is weird talking about God. Like, what pronouns do you use? I don't know. God isn't male. God isn't female. God is the perfect balance of divine masculine, divine feminine. God is love. That aside, God is creator, and we too are creators. 0 point is the reflection of that perfect God state where inspiration is born and all things manifest. So you can create anything from this state. And then he goes on to explain how manifestation essentially works for us. He says, if you wish to manifest anything into your life, you begin from a place of burden. That sounds really negative, but it's not what he means. He goes on to explain. He says you are pre-programmed with ancestral, karmic, mental, and emotion debris, which oppose your desired outcome. And so the first step in the journey is to break down these patterns so you may bring yourself into alignment with your desire. When people tend to think about manifestation, usually they're talking about abundance, financial, money, So I'm just going to use that as an example. So many of us grow up in a family perhaps where the parents are struggling financially. And then that idea of not being able to afford stuff as a child just becomes part of our psyche. We get programmed to believe that we can't afford things, or things are too expensive, or we don't deserve things, or whatever the reasons, whatever the patterns are that were reinforced into us when we're younger. So of course, when we grow up and perhaps we get into the idea of manifesting and we want to start working on manifesting our own abundance in life, what actually happens is the universe sees your request, but actually your vibration, your conscious mind is saying, yes, give me more money, but your subconscious is saying, I can't afford it, I don't have enough, etc., etc. And these two things create like a tug of war. You're trying to draw it with you, and you're subconsciously pushing it away at the same time through your thought patterns. And so what happens is when you start to try and manifest this stuff, the universe sees what you are trying to do, and it wants to help you to do that. But the only way that you can do that is to change your vibration so that you can drop that part of yourself that's pushing it away. So it begins to send tests and challenges and initiations and all that good stuff that makes up the awakening journey to help us break down those barriers so that we can shift our energy, so we can eventually get into a place we are in a resonance with that abundance, and we just naturally magnetize it to us. But he says himself, this, depending on the barriers, can be a lengthy process. If you had a lifetime of challenges in your life to do with finance and stuff like that, undoing all of those things is not easy, and it takes a long time. And then we end up getting frustrated and feeling that it's never going to come, and the universe has abandoned us, and all of these other human things that we say completely naturally because that's the way that we are. And actually we end up getting to a point where we then start pushing it away again. That's why maintaining focus when trying to manifesting is so important. But back to 0 point. Gabriel says, from a place of 0 point, there are no opposing forces. It is simply a matter of switching your vibration to match your desire. So you could be resonating with absolutely anything. It could be amazing, positive. You could be vibrating over here at the pure love, absolutely amazing state. And of course, because you're doing that, the universe says like attracts like. That's fundamental universal law. It's the law of attraction. But you're in this loving state. That's amazing. You're manifesting more love into your world, but you want abundance. So all you've got to do is switch your vibration to abundance, and all of a sudden things start to come together. Because you have no barriers, you have no density. That's because you are in a state of 0 point. And he says this is how we angels are able to manifest all things instantly, for we carry no disharmony. They have none of those patterns. They're not holding any karma in their fields. They don't have ancestral blocks. They can just create instantly. He goes on to say, to achieve true 0 point is sadly out of the reach of those who have stepped upon the wheel of reincarnation. The Ascended Masters have come close, but will always carry some aspect of the ego. This is one of the fascinating things really about life, is that it's been said, I can't remember which of the Ascended Masters quite famously said this, essentially as soon as you have manifested, as soon as you've stepped foot on the physical earth, you carry some aspect of ego, and that will never be released. No matter how many lifetimes, till the point that you achieve ascension, you will always carry some level of ego. And if you are a channel, if you talk regularly to the Ascended Masters and the Archangels, you will see quite a difference in personality between the two. And this largely comes from some level of ego. Don't get me wrong, they have dropped the negative aspects of the ego, because the ego isn't a villain. It's not necessarily a bad thing. There is negative ego and there is positive ego. And throughout this process, we work to break down the negative aspects of it. But we will never drop the positive. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. It's part of what gives us individuality. But that does mean that what Gabriel is saying is that you can never truly achieve 0 point, because you will always carry some level of ego, which you can get very, very close to perfection, but it's only really the angels and other beings of pure light that can match that frequency. It's not to say that Ascended Masters can't manifest instantly, because they can do. They have unbelievable power available to themselves. I guess I suppose it technically means maybe they can't do it quite as easily as an angel. I wouldn't like to say, but yeah. We'll call them at 1 point energy, and the angels can be 0 point energy. That helps explain things, if nothing else. Someone correct me if I'm wrong about that. Yeah. So, Gabriel finishes his message. However, with my assistance, it is possible to reset your energetic systems, at least temporarily, opening up your manifestation and offering reprise from the energetic debris you usually have to carry. So what he's saying is that Gabriel, with his incredible diamond light, is able to assist you to purify your energetic system. So again, like your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, your chakras. And not to say that every single aspect of you is going to go into 0 points, because, he's just told us that that's not possible. But it can at least assist us temporarily to get to completely purify our energies. Again, of course, we're a sponge. We're going to start soaking stuff up. We're going to take things on again. We will probably still carry some of the karmic things and ancestral things and stuff like that, and things will creep back in. But he can offer us a reprieve from these energies. And he says that this alone will be a freeing and a beautiful experience. Now, if it's not permanent, why would you want to do it? Well, why do we do anything for relaxation? Why do we meditate to feel an hour of peace, even though that we know when we then go back to work or pick up the kids or whatever we do, that stress comes back in? Because the benefits of having that for a short period of time are still amazing, and it just gives us that moment of freedom. Of course, as he says, this can assist us with manifestation as well, to get into this pure state. So even if we could just do this for half an hour and then work on manifesting what we want for that half an hour, it would be worthwhile. But this leads me on to the second part of Archangel Gabriel's offer. Essentially, he is offering to assist us to purify our energetic systems at this deep, if it's not pure 0 point energy, it's certainly going to be very close. But then, because we're a blank canvas, he is offering to fill us up with the energies of peace, love, balance, and harmony. And this, as I was saying right at the very beginning of this video, it is so important for us to take the time for peace, to take time just to step away from the chaos of the world, especially as turbulent as things seem right now. Just some time for us, with no concerns, no worries, no nothing, to just take time to be. And what better way to do that than to be blessed with these incredible vibrations directly from Archangel Gabriel, and to receive an incredible purification in the process. So this is Gabriel's offer. It's going to come in the format of a guided meditation led by Gabriel, where he is going to take us on a journey to the angelic realms to receive this 0 point clearing and to fill us with the energies of peace, love, balance, and harmony. I don't know about you guys, but that sounds amazing to me. So if you would like to join Gabriel and me for this workshop, to say that's going to be on March the 20th, it's held online through Zoom. And if you can't attend live, a recording will be available afterwards. So also, if you find this video in the future and you're thinking, yes, I'd love to be a part of this, follow the same link in the description or up here if you're on YouTube, and it will take you to the page, either live or recording. Thank you so much for watching today. Whether you are joining us for that event or not, I really hope the information here was useful to you. If you did enjoy it, please do hit the like button. It makes a massive difference here for us here at the channel. And if you would like to receive more stuff like this, channeled messages, meditations, general spiritual chit chat, then please do subscribe as well. We would absolutely love to have you as a part of our community. And also, if you want to keep watching, I'm just going to throw a video up here, one of these, in a minute, if you fancy checking that out afterwards. From my heart to yours, sending you so much love, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.